Hello everybody and welcome back to the Pokemon Crystal portion of Pokemon 3Ds. In the last episode we started here in the Johto region. We got our starter Tien, we got our first Pokemon Sentret, which we named Larry, and now we've got Tuki, the... sorry for hitting the microphone, Krabby. I also probably offended quite a lot of you, and honestly I do not give a shit. In this episode I'm gonna offend even more of you, because that's just what I do in life. I offend people and I kinda like it. If you haven't seen like the later portion of last episode, you don't understand that is... What is with my look? Also, game, thank you very much for giving me a segue away from that tangent again, but what's with my look? This is episode 2. Well, it's actually like episode 21, but it's episode... I think it's episode 21. This is episode 2 of the Johto portion. I've run into a Zapdos, a Ho-Oh, and a Raikou at this point. I've also run into Mewtwo like 7 times, I think, over the Kanto portion of this series. What's going on here? How does this happen? Why is Raichu so orange? All the questions philosophers have been pondering over for decades, if not centuries, if not millennia. Or maybe I'm just being a little bitch. So, in today's episode, I'm not going to talk about how you guys are little stupid snowflakes, but I am a little stupid snowflake and I get annoyed about RNG in a video game while I should be doing work. Literally, I just got a message between episodes, or during the first episode, but I read it between episodes from a client asking me to update a mistake in a video, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that after recording this episode, because I'm recording these episodes back to back, obviously, as I usually am. I record usually 2 Pokemon 3Ds in a row, sometimes 3 when I really like I'm into it and I don't need to do any grinding. After this one I'm definitely going to have to do some grinding. But I figured, you know what, I could just stop here and record the second one after fixing that mistake. But I'm not gonna. I'm going to record this episode first. So... if anybody is a stupid, irresponsible, like, little millennial snowflake, it's definitely me. Because I'm on here, like, preaching on the internet. And, well, I should have something better to do. Also, I'm not a millennial because I don't like avocado. I don't hate it. It's just, like, not that good. Is that okay to say? I also don't really like anything with avocado, really. I was going to give some examples, but I don't really like anything with avocado. Sometimes I'll have it on like a sandwich, but I'll probably I don't do it on my own. I probably should clarify that. If I go to like some kind of hipster place because I'm going out for lunch with people, I'll have a piece of like toast or bread with like a lot of toppings, among which is avocado, but I won't ever like do that on my own. So the Ruins of Elf is a little bit of an interesting thing because it has different catch lists, obviously, but I'm only going to capture one Pokemon here. I'm just going to go in and finish this puzzle, and then the first thing I run into is just going to be my encounter for this place. I might have a little bit too much time on my hands in this episode, I just realized, because we can do this, we can do the Sprout Tower, which is where I lost the first Nuzlocke after coming back to YouTube, so it's like a little... These are the wrong way around, aren't they? They definitely are not. No, this is definitely the right way around. That's the only thing that always annoys me here is this Kabuto puzzle. The 2 things at the top and the 2 things at the bottom. Well, not the 2 things at the bottom. The 2 things at the top. Only the 2 things at the bottom. Sometimes they get like a little bit messed up and you don't know which one is which. And I'm very confused. I feel like I'm doing something terribly wrong. Oh, yeah, no, okay, so that one is definitely an eye and not a claw. And then this one is an eye, and then this is a claw as well. That should be the whole puzzle. Except it's not, because these 2 need to be swapped around. As I figured they would, because I always mess those up. You can't see. You can't see the difference between them. At least I can't. There probably is like a 2 pixel difference between them. Don't ask me to point it out. Don't ask me to show you which one is the left and which one is the right butt cheek. Fuck a boot out. Because I couldn't tell you. I literally couldn't tell you. I always just place them somewhere, and if the rest of the puzzle is finished, then I don't get like the little sound effect. Also, that's... I can encounter Machoke. Machoke. Can I only encounter Machoke in here? An infinite supply of TN. So, I don't know how that works. I'm guessing even making other puzzles aren't going to be able to run into Machoke there, so I'm just not going to get an encounter in that area, I suppose. Which sucks a little bit. Just a little bit. What was I even talking about? Avocado, yeah, that's it. There's other things like fruits and vegetables I like will just not eat. Like tomato. I like tomato flavored things. I like tomato soup. I like tomato sauce. Fucking love the fact that I'm getting an Eevee. I don't like tomato. If you put tomato in a blender and then give it to me, I'm like, this what am I supposed to do with this? This is going to be my first question. But then when you say you put this on a sandwich, I'm like, okay. If you give me some meat as well, I can deal with that. It will probably be very gross because that's not what tomato sauce is at all. Like tomato sauce also has like a lot of salt and mostly sugar if it's ketchup. But also just generally it has a lot of sugar in it. Sugar. It's related to sugar. I'm not gonna sound like Cookie against you. Are you insane? I'm just gonna throw a lot of balls at your face. I guess. I don't know what I want this guy to evolve into. The fun thing about Eevee is if it survives a generation, it's gonna get reset back to Eevee, obviously. At which point I can choose to evolve it into something entirely different. So I'm probably just gonna keep it on the team and see what it ends up, how it ends up fitting into the team. So I'm just gonna throw some balls at you in speed mode. And if you don't stay, you're just gonna die. Literally the last Pokeball. Holy fuck! He's only 1 foot high. Huh. You're going to be... Do I have a choice but calling you Furball? I don't think I have a choice. I think I need to call you Furball. Just because you are literally the most cutest, adorable Furball in the entire game. So that now makes... Let's see. Still annoyed about the Cyndaquil thing happening. That makes 4 Pokemon on the team so far, and we can go into Sprout Tower and get even more Pokemon if we have money, that is, which we should have a little bit of money at this point again, right? Okay, not as much as I'd hoped. That's potentially an issue. That is potentially a real issue. Because I can buy 1 Pokeball. Do I have anything to sell? 5 potions. But I really don't want to sell those, and an antidote. Which I also do not want to sell. So... maybe we have an Eevee, but we also force ourselves into a bit of a difficult situation. At least the first gym is not going to be a flying type. Well, it's still flying type. But it's going to be randomized, so it could be anything. No, my luck, it's probably still going to be flying type, and it's also going to be legendaries. Because they're just the luck I have. So Tien is not going to be weak against them, is the main thing I'm trying to get at here, right? But we only have... Are there any more trainers I can beat, like, on this route here, on Route 31? I think I skipped like 1 or 2 trainers. Are you a trainer? Sir, are you a trainer? You are not a trainer. You found a good Pokemon in the Dark Cave. So did I. It's a Cookie. You are not a trainer. You are already beaten. I could have sworn you were a trainer. No, you are not a trainer. Huh. Are you a trainer? You do not seem to be a trainer. Are you a Pokeball? You're a potion. How am I going to deal with this? Because I don't want to go into Sprout Tower before getting... oh my god, there's so many good Pokemon in here! A Crobat, which admittedly would have been Dupe's Claws because I already have a Zubat in the box. And then a Pupitar, of all things. I could have had a Tyranitar, like at level 50, but I could have had a Tyranitar. And it even shows you the pop-up boxes for the routes in this game, which I didn't do in Gen 1. So I should have noticed. Should have noticed. Didn't notice, should have noticed. So I don't think there's any more trainers here to battle, which is a bit annoying. Because wild Pokemon obviously do not give items. And there's some berries around, but the berries don't give any money at all. They give like, I think they get 10 money per berry. And if you get an apricot, you can't even sell them, I don't think. So, yeah, that's going to be a bit of an issue. I guess we just go into Sprout Tower with one Pokeball and hope that that's enough. Or that we can like beat like one or two trainers in Sprout Tower and then get out before encountering anything so that we can use that money to get more Pokeballs. Because there's no trainers available other than... I mean, there's trainers in the gym. I could do the gym, but I really don't want to do the gym. It's the thing. I want to do the gym next episode. But I feel like I don't really have much of a choice. I'm high enough level for the gym anywhere, right? With Tian. I am level like 13 at this point. At 13. I think this big Johto is like level 12 usually. He only has 2 Pokemon. There's 2 trainers before him. It's not going to be a very balanced gym because I've got like 4 Pokemon on the team, only 1 of which is useful. Next episode it'll change. I'll do a little bit of grinding. Everybody will be like level 10 or something. And we'll be good to go. But I would like a Quagsire. At level 9. That might actually not be good for me. That might actually be fairly bad for me now that I think about it. Because that means that level 12 might not be the level of the ace Pokemon in this gym. But again, as long as we can get enough money to get enough Pokeballs, I think we should be fine. Then again, now that we've started the gym, we can't really like abandon the gym halfway through and then do the rest next episode, right? I kind of feel like I am at this point committed to beating the gym. No matter what it takes. And even if I die, right, I still have an entire box full of Pokemon. That's a lot of experience, holy fuck. So we're gonna get to level 15 before even like... We're not gonna get to level 15, are we? We're gonna get to level 14 for sure. We might get to level 15 depending on what the second trainer in the gym has. Before even getting to the gym leader. This is what happens when you only use one Pokemon. And when you run into a lot of legendaries early on in the game, you get very, very powerful. But admittedly, I think I deserve it, because I did run into like 3 legendaries within 2 episodes. Again. So, I think I deserve the experience. And that does give me a little bit of a leg up. And that does also mean that the rest of my team is getting left behind just a little bit. I also like how this looks like a $sign, by the way. I don't know if that was like... Probably wasn't on purpose, because obviously this is made by a Japanese company. So they probably didn't even realize it looked like a $sign. Maybe, especially like in the late 90s, there wasn't like as like communication and like media as a whole wasn't as global as it is now. So while they definitely knew of the dollar and knew what it looked like, they probably didn't have it as like clear in mind at all times as the entire world does now. I would imagine. I don't know. I was like 3 when this game came out, I think. Yeah, something like that. Maybe I was even 2 years old when this game came out. So we might actually make it to level 15 here, depending on Croconaw. It's another Bob! We've run into 2 out of 3 Bobs, all in trainer battles so far. But that actually might mean that we get enough experience to make it all the way to... that's... Flinched, nice. To to level 15, which means that the upcoming gym leader battle is not going to be that big of a deal. Okay, so we are level 15. We're not going to be evolving any karate chop just in time for the gym leader. What do you know? What do you know indeed? And we're going to get a little bit of money to get the Pokeballs we need. I'm not going to do the entirety of Sprite Tower this episode, but I'm probably going to capture one Pokemon in Sprite Tower and then call it an episode. This might be a little bit of a shorter episode as a result, but it's also the first gym leader. It's a lot of Pokemon that are being captured today here. And it's also... I really do need to get on. They're also level 7, level 9, I think, not level 12. This could be an issue. Never mind, this is not going to be an issue, because you don't have... He flinched. I don't think you have a flying type move yet. You might have Gust, which could potentially be T-Wave. I might still outspeed you, to be honest. I probably won't. No, I don't. Twister. That's a dragon type move, I think, not a flying type move. So Wild Stab, it does no damage whatsoever. Okay, so the Dragonite, probably the scariest Pokemon he has out of the two, is dealt with. Now the next one is an Igglybuff. I mean, that's the entirely like the other kind of the spectrum, right? It's Igglybuff. I mean, yeah, defense girl, but I have Karate Chop, and it's Stab, and super effective, and you're a baby Pokemon, so... And it's a critical hit! So you're dead! That was the easiest gym battle in the history of Pokemon. I mean, we had a Dragonite to face. Which can't use Dragonite for the thumbnail either. I probably don't have a lot of money because Mom is taking all my money. That probably explains quite a lot. I did mash through that dialogue. I just realized I mashed through that dialogue a little bit. This is Aerial Ace ? Please tell me what it is so I don't have to look it up. Mudslap. Oh my god, that might actually be the worst move you could ever give me, especially as being the flying type gym leader. Does Aerial Ace not exist in Gen 2? I'm fairly sure that in Gen 4. You get Aerial Ace from this gym. Oh, we can go pick up the Togepi egg now. Still don't know what I want to do with that. But honestly, now that I realized that you get the egg in Violet City and on New Bark Town, I am inclined to call this the encounter for... Aren't you like supposed to... I've got enough money to buy some Pokeballs. Isn't there supposed to be like a dude in here which gives me... Oh, he's in the Pokemon Center, maybe. I don't know. Somewhere here gives me the Togepi egg. And, so yeah, I'm inclined to say that the Togepi is going to be our encounter for Violet City. Because I'm going to hatch it between apps. Am I? Because it's probably going to be randomized. I'm going to hatch it at the end of this episode and just like skip ahead, probably. And it's going to be an encounter for Violet City, especially since I just saw that there is some water in here, so I could return later and surf and get a Pokemon that way. Which I just won't do in Violet City, I suppose. There's some other places where you can get Pokemon inside city limits, I think, in this game. So when we get surf or a fishing rod, that means that we do have like a fairly high amount of encounters to go through. And then again, the entirety of Kanto is going to be a fairly capture-heavy region as well. So there's going to be a lot of captures in Gen 2, I feel. You are my mom. You are not my mom. Never mind. You look like my mom. Okay, let's see. I don't want to like do any trainer battles right now. I just want to run into a wild Pokemon. You have wild Pokemon in here, don't you? I could have sworn you have wild Pokemon in here. You might not. Maybe only in certain floors? I mean, definitely you have wild Pokemon in here, because usually you run into Bellsprout. Like, a lot of Bellsprout here. So, definitely you have wild Pokemon. It's just, I never remember on which floors they are, and they're a very low encounter rate as it is anyway in this area. So I don't really know. But let's just see if we can get a Pokemon fairly quickly here. And then I'm going to just use the speed button a lot and hatch the Togepi egg. Which won't be a Togepi. Which means that I won't have to do a lot of walking to evolve it into a Togetic. Which actually is a very nice change of pace. If it is actually a Togepi, I'll probably just go to randompokemon.org and generate a random Pokemon and just Pokegen it in as my encounter. I guess? I don't know. Should I do that? Maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should just like put it in a box and just release it. Just not use it. Probably do that. I've got plenty of Pokemon as it is. I don't need to like come up with excuses to get even more Pokemon. If I were low on Pokemon, that would maybe be one thing. But I've got like 4 Pokemon on the team right now. I've got 30 in backup. So I think we'll be fine even if we have... Okay, our encounter for the Sprout Tower is going to be a Blossom. Huh. So, now the question becomes... If I run into a Vileplume, what do I do? Can I still catch a Vileplume? No, because they would both get reset to... That's gonna kill it. I didn't even notice it was level 3. Fuck. They probably... Yeah, I definitely couldn't catch a Vileplume either. Because I would both get reset to Oddish at the start of Gen 3, so I can't do that. But I can, because I accidentally killed my Blossom encounter. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press the speed button a lot and walk back and forth in this part of Violet City until my egg hatches. So I'll cut a hatch up until that point. Somehow button mashing with the speed button, I ended up in the ruins of Elf. Huh. I don't know how I managed that. And there we go. We have a hatching egg. And the hatching egg is going to be, again, this might very well just be a Togepi, in which case this is very anticlimactic. But instead it's a Diglett. What are we going to do with Dupe's Claws out of an egg? I guess we just release it? Maybe? It's still very anticlimactic. Yeah, so that's just not a Pokemon encounter we have here. So I guess next episode we'll be back with everybody being right about level 10 and we're gonna release the Diglett. I guess. Can we release right out of the party, Diglett? Release. I'm very sorry. We already had Harold. I don't remember how Harold died, but you can go be with him now. I'll see you back next episode. And again, anticlimactic. Next episode, catching is going to be a lot harder as well because everybody's going to be level 10. Fuck.